The Cincinnati Bengals just pulled off the kind of win that can save a season. Hey everyone, welcome back to Cincinnati Bengals Talk, where we break down everything happening inside Paycor Stadium. And tonight, the Bengals did exactly what they had to do. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been calling this one a must-win game, and the Bengals delivered. It wasn't easy, far from it. There was tension, late drama, and a whole lot of sweat from fans. But when it mattered most, this team showed heart. From Joe Flacco's veteran composure to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins stepping up big, the stars made plays and the young guns like DJ Turner and Jordan Battle came through when it counted. This, right here, is what a season-saving win looks like. The Bengals aren't perfect, we know that. There are still flaws. But tonight, they did exactly what great teams do. They found a way to win. The offense finally woke up, scoring on 7 of their last 8 drives, 3 touchdowns and 4 field goals. Everyone contributed. The offensive line gave protection, the receivers delivered, the running game found rhythm, and the tight ends made key catches. And let's be honest, nobody saw Joe Flacco playing like this so soon. It's been just 9 days since Cincinnati traded for him, and he already looks in sync. The Bengals barely gave up anything in the trade, just a move down from the 5th to 6th round in the 2026 draft, and it's already paying off. Before we dive deeper into what this means for the Bengals' playoff hopes, before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Now, let's talk about how Joe Flacco's leadership and the Bengals' offensive turnaround could completely change the rest of this season. Joe Flacco continues to shock the football world, and Cincinnati fans are loving every second of it. In just 9 days and 2 starts with the Bengals, Flacco hasn't thrown a single interception. Think about that. A veteran quarterback, stepping into a brand new system on short notice and already looking completely in control. This week was even tougher for him. A short turnaround meant almost no time to prepare, no full practices, barely a chance to review the playbook. But still, Flacco delivered, completing 31 of 47 passes for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns, each to a different target: Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Noah Fant. That's not just efficiency, that's leadership. And let's not overlook the offensive line. Only 2 sacks all game, and most of those were simply Flacco trying to extend plays. The protection was solid, the pocket stayed clean, and the run game came alive. Chase Brown exploded for 108 yards on 11 carries, averaging nearly 10 yards per rush, including huge runs of 37 and 28 yards. That balanced power on the ground, precision through the air, is exactly what this team has been missing. And then, of course, Jamar Chase. If there was ever a night that proved he's on pace to be the best receiver in Bengals history, this was it. Chase broke records again with 16 catches on 23 targets, both new team highs. But what's most impressive is how he did it. No deep bombs. No highlight reel 70-yard touchdowns. His longest catch was only 16 yards, yet he kept moving the chains over and over. First downs, clutch grabs, drive extenders, he was unstoppable. That's what makes Chase so special. He's not just the home run threat, he's the all-purpose weapon. He can torch defenses deep or wear them down with short, physical catches. Tough to tackle, impossible to cover, and relentless from start to finish. Tonight, Chase also crossed 6,000 career receiving yards, becoming the 6th fastest player in NFL history to reach that mark, doing it in just 69 games. So, doubt him if you want, but as Bengals fans know, you doubt Joe and Jamar at your own risk. Flacco's composure and Chase's brilliance have reignited this offense, and suddenly the Bengals look dangerous again. Sometimes, for a moment, it looked like the same old story. But this Bengals team didn't fold. With about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, the spark finally came. Cincinnati's offense struck with its first touchdown, cutting the deficit to 10-7, and suddenly, everything changed. Moments later, Aaron Rodgers made the mistake of the game. He tried to force a deep ball to DK Metcalf, a throw that looked more about ego than execution, and rookie safety Jordan Battle made him pay. Battle climbed the ladder, pulled down a clutch interception, and completely flipped the energy in the stadium. Then came the explosion. On the very next drive, Chase Brown ripped off a huge run, setting the stage for T. Higgins to cap it with a touchdown just 3 plays later. And just like that, from down 10-0 to up 14-10, the Bengals had seized control. That sequence wasn't just a scoring swing. It was a moment of belief. The kind of moment that reminds everyone this team still has fight, still has leadership, and still has the fire to make something special happen this season. For the first time in what feels like forever, the Cincinnati Bengals went into halftime with a lead, their first since Week 1. That alone says everything about how this game flipped. Down 10-0 early, they didn't panic. They fought back, built confidence, and suddenly, they were the ones in control. The turning point? DJ Turner. The rookie corner went toe-to-toe with one of the league's most physical receivers, DK Metcalf, and didn't back down for a second. Just days ago, when asked about facing Metcalf, Turner said calmly, "I am not worried about him. I just play my game." That mindset showed up in a huge way. Turner battled all night, multiple pass breakups, tight coverage, and then the play of the half. With the Steelers driving, Turner ripped the ball away from Metcalf, a stunning interception that completely stunned the stadium. That takeaway set up another Bengals scoring drive, and a field goal pushed the lead to 17-10 at halftime. That's when everything changed. The Bengals weren't just surviving anymore, they were controlling the game. In the second half, Cincinnati's offense stayed hot, scoring on nearly every drive. They only punted once late in the fourth quarter, and by then, the Steelers were the ones trying to catch up. Even when Pittsburgh found the end zone twice after halftime, the Bengals kept answering. Joe Flacco's rhythm, Chase's consistency, and the offensive line's protection made it impossible for the Steelers to close the gap. By the time the dust settled, Cincinnati had scored on 7 of their final 8 possessions, turning a sluggish start into one of their most complete offensive performances of the year. And yes, when the Steelers finally did get a stop and handed the ball back to Aaron Rodgers late in the game, the Bengals' defense was waiting. They had already taken the fight out of him once, and they were about to finish the job. When Aaron Rodgers launched that 68-yard strike to Pat Freiermuth, it felt like a gut punch. The Steelers suddenly pulled within reach, but they made one critical mistake. They left Joe Flacco too much time. And that's when Joe Comm went to work. Cool, composed, and completely unfazed by the chaos around him, Flacco led the Bengals down the field with surgical precision. First, he found Jamar Chase to spark the drive. Then, a perfectly timed pass to T. Higgins for a 28-yard gain, the knockout blow that sealed it. Higgins slid down smartly, keeping the clock running and setting up the game winner. With just 10 seconds left, Evan McPherson stepped up and drilled a 36-yard field goal, his 4th of the night, putting Cincinnati ahead 33-31. And when Aaron Rodgers tried one last miracle, a desperate Hail Mary, DJ Ivy was there to swat it away. Ball game. Bengals win. This was a huge victory, not because it was perfect, but because it showed everything this team is made of: resilience, experience, and the will to finish. The offensive line deserves massive credit for protecting Flacco all night. The offense was near flawless, scoring on 7 of 8 drives. The defense, while leaky at times, made game-changing plays when it mattered most, 2 takeaways that shifted the momentum. Yes, there were issues. The Bengals gave up big plays, including 127 rushing yards to Jaylen Warren and that deep touchdown to Freiermuth. But they also held DK Metcalf in check, and without Trey Hendrickson and Cam Taylor-Britt, this unit still found ways to respond. Head coach Zach Taylor summed it up best after the game: "It wasn't pretty, but it was enough." And that's what matters right now. Because in the NFL, you don't need perfection, you need fight. And on this night, the Bengals fought their way back into the season. This wasn't just a win, it was the Bengals' best performance of the season. Joe Flacco showed exactly why experience matters. His timing with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase is already clicking, and that connection could become the key to turning this season around. What really stood out, though, was how the entire offense responded to early adversity. Andre Iosivas, after a tough outing in Green Bay, bounced back with a big catch deep downfield. Chase Brown, who had a costly drop early, came back with explosive runs that changed momentum. Even Jamar Chase, who had a few uncharacteristic drops, rebounded to dominate again when it mattered most. That resilience says everything about this group. They didn't fold, they fought back. The offensive line deserves credit for both protecting Flacco and opening up rushing lanes all night. Noah Fant played a big role too, contributing as both a blocker and a reliable target in key moments. This was a complete team win against the division-leading Steelers, no less. The Bengals are now 2-0 in the division and 3-4 overall, climbing back into the race just when they needed it most. And here's what makes it even more exciting: the next two games are both at home, the Jets and the Bears. Two huge opportunities to build momentum before the bye. Make no mistake, this wasn't just about numbers on the scoreboard. It was about belief, leadership, and fight. The Bengals reminded everyone that this season isn't over, not even close. Because when this team plays with this kind of fire, Cincinnati can beat anyone.